Discover the incredible moment. A single dad's heart changed forever, when twin girls asked to join their fight for veterans' hearts. Jake was just an ordinary guy, a single father living in a suburban paradise where the air was jasmine sweet and laughter echoed through tree-lined streets. But his heart was heavy. Recently laid off from his accounting job due to corporate downsizing, the weight of financial fear pressed against his chest like a cinder block. He had two spirited daughters, 8-year-old twins Lily and Emma, who were the sunshine on his cloudy days. Each giggle felt like a drop of hope, every small adventure a fleeting treasure. But the late-night bill sessions drained him. Just keep teaching them the value of hard work, he'd remind himself, clinging to that mantra like a lifeline. One day the twins burst into the house fresh from school, their cheeks flushed with excitement. "Dad, we want to help! There's a charity event for veterans!" Lily squeaked, her eyes sparkling. "We want to make gifts to sell and raise money," Emma chimed in, her imagination already crafting beautiful handmade trinkets. A rush of warmth filled Jake's heart. You could almost hear it swelling, the pride radiating from him like sunlight through clouds. It was just the kind of spirit he wanted to nurture. But the moment of joy slipped into tension when the girls faced ridicule from classmates, affluent kids scoffing, tossing out taunts like, "Why bother? Just give them money." Such disdain stung like a slap to Jake's gut. His protective instincts flared. He had crafted a world of integrity for his girls, only for it to be challenged so cruelly. He felt the urgency to step in, to shield them. But something shifted inside him, igniting resolve. They plunged into their project together. Jake willed himself to push past fears of inadequacy, to show them that perseverance triumphs over adversity. Days of scrambles, late nights, and love found them ready for their first fundraiser. But when the day arrived, it was disheartening. Only a handful of neighbors showed, the table decorated but nearly untouched. Jake could feel the flicker of hope in his daughters dimming as he watched their smiles falter. Then, unexpectedly, a decorated veteran arrived. His posture held stories, raw and untold. With humility, he shared his journey, his sacrifices, his resilience. The crowd hung on his every word, caught in an emotional web that tightened around each heart. As he spoke about community, something shifted in that room. He reminded everyone that genuine connection requires courage, that true charity knows no chains of class. Tears streamed down faces as Jake stared, his heart being tugged in directions he'd never imagined. Amidst the shifting waves of awareness, he heard whispers of disbelief. Old biases began to take shape again, threatening to unravel the space of unity created. It hit him like a freight train. The fight wasn't just about his daughters daring to make a difference, but about a battle to redefine their community's values. Would they embrace the challenge of coming together, breaking through stubborn walls of inequity? Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. So let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Jake's heart pounded wildly. He was at the precipice of awakening. But would anyone have the courage to act? As he looked at Lily and Emma, shining with the hope of their dreams, he felt the weight of the night's uncertainty settle in. What would it take for them to unite, standing true to their hearts? What would it mean to fight not only for their dreams, but for change? The future felt like a mysterious canvas, and nothing was certain. Jake could feel the energy in the room shift, a delicate undercurrent sparking hope amidst uncertainty. He held onto his daughter's hands, their small warmth radiating against the chill of doubt. But it was less about holding them up. It was about standing alongside them, ready to face whatever came next. The veteran's voice had stirred something deep within him, a pleading desire to teach not only his girls, but the community around them about the essence of togetherness, about love that knows no boundaries. "Let's not just sit here," Jake said, his voice steady. "Lily, Emma, let's show everyone what we've prepared. We believe in something bigger than ourselves." As he spoke, a sense of purpose surged within him. The girls nodded, their eyes widened with determination as Jake helped them set up their display. With newfound energy, they rearranged the handmade items, a kaleidoscope of glitter, beads, and crafts. Each piece was a testament to their hard work and intention. Families began to trickle over, drawn by a combination of curiosity and the lingering resonance of the veteran's story. Jake watched as his daughters animatedly shared their mission, pouring their hearts into every explanation. Soon, the energy in the room began to shift once again. Neighbors who had done little more than pass by also paused, some wiping tears from their eyes, while others smiled warmly, visibly moved. "I didn't know you girls were doing this," one neighbor said, her eyes bright with admiration. "This is incredible." The growth of community warmth felt like a living thing, expanding beyond the small table where the girls showcased their crafts. Jake marveled at how something simple could flourish into something profound, that every bottle cap they'd painted and every scrap of fabric they'd combined held power. Yet there was a persistent knot in his stomach. Jake stole a glance at Lily and Emma, so engaged, so fierce. Could their small voices rise above the clamor of indifference? He watched as another neighbor, hesitant but intrigued, stepped forward. A small boy at his side, they perused the handmade gifts. "If I buy something, can I help too?" the boy asked, echoing his father's sentiment silently reflected on his face. Jake felt the knot loosening. Yes. This was evidence of change. A spark of connection ignited. As others joined, voices mingled in laughter and cheers. Jake smiled wider, feeling lighter. The realization struck him. When people genuinely connect, they become a force. But just as the energy peaked, a sharp voice cut through the joyful hum. "What a waste of time," sneered a girl from earlier. She appeared with a group of friends, arms crossed defiantly. "Why bother with this? It's not like it's going to change anything." Jake's heart sank. Fear clawed back into his chest. He glanced at his daughters. Lily and Emma noticed the girl's presence, and for a moment, uncertainty flickered in their eyes. Just as he was about to step in, Lily inhaled, glancing at her sister. "We may not change the world," she said, her voice clear and steady despite the shaking in her legs, "but we can change someone's heart, even if it's just one." The crowd hushed, the moment hanging in the air. Jake felt the weight of it all. The girls were right, their efforts, though small, held significance beyond their imagination. Would they hold on to that spark and let it grow? As the tension loomed, something unexpected happened. The decorated veteran from earlier stepped forward, his expression unwavering. He knelt down to the girls' level, making eye contact with them both. "You know, it takes courage to stand up for what you believe in. I'm proud of you." His words held power, wrapping around Jake like a shield. Would that moment propel them all towards something greater? Would it inspire others to join their cause, or worse, shatter their fragile unity? As Jake locked eyes with the girls, he understood what was at stake. The journey was just beginning, and he felt their hearts beating in sync, preparing to turn the tide. What would unfold in that fragile space teetering between hope and skepticism, and how far would they be willing to go for the change they believed in? As the weight of the veteran's words hung in the air, the atmosphere crackled with anticipation. Jake felt the surge of hope and doubt swirling within him. Lily and Emma exchanged looks, their shared determination shining through despite their initial hesitation. "Can we do it, Daddy?" Emma whispered, her fingers twitching against Jake's palm. The sincerity in her voice tugged at his heartstrings. "Absolutely we can," he reassured her, squeezing her hand. "Let's show everyone that even the smallest actions can ripple out and touch lives." With renewed vigor, the girls turned to the crowd, their eyes lighting up with determination. "We're raising money for families in need. Every donation helps," Lily declared, her voice strong, drawing more eyes toward them. Slowly, people began to get involved. Curiosity transformed into engagement, and the once hesitant neighbors joined in, some purchasing items, others chatting with the girls, asking questions and sharing stories. Jake stood back, watching, absorbing the power of connection as laughter mingled with conversations. But the tension from the girl who had spoken out lingered at the edges, a shadow dimming their light. Jake steeled himself, ready to respond if she dared to provoke again. Yet, oddly enough, she simply snickered with her friends, flicking her hair back dismissively. Then came another round of applause, this one led by Mr. Carson, an older gentleman with a gentle demeanor known for his kindness. "You young ladies are doing a fine job," he said, breaking through the negativity. "It's always been the small acts that lead to the biggest changes." The crowd echoed his sentiment, murmurs of agreement rippling through the gathering. One by one, others joined in sharing their own stories of change and how small gestures had touched their lives. Jake's heart swelled. The energy shifted again, blossoming like the first flowers of spring breaking through the frost. Suddenly, the young girl who had dismissed them stood there, arms crossed, and her expression softened, touched by the tide of positivity surrounding Lily and Emma. "Maybe I was wrong," she mumbled, glancing at them awkwardly before retreating. The change in her demeanor hung over the group like a gentle reminder that skepticism could transform into something beautiful. It was then that something unexpected happened. A woman known for her quiet nature shuffled forward, clutching her heart. "You girls remind me of my own daughters," she said, tears glistening in her eyes. "They used to craft and dream like you. This brings back good memories. Can I help too?" Jake felt another knot in his stomach, but this time it was from joy. He knew they were stepping onto something important, something that would expand beyond this small gathering. In the flurry of kindness, an elderly couple approached slowly, holding their hands together, eyes twinkling with nostalgia. They shared how they had built a community garden together many years ago, their passionate murmurs inspiring others to join with their own stories of change. As they all shared, Jake recognized that every person present was weaving their own narrative, creating threads of compassion, community, and resilience. But just as the excitement peaked, a sudden clattering of metal interrupted them. A donation jar rattled to the ground, spilling coins everywhere. Silence fell as everyone turned to see the source of the disruption. The group of skeptical teens turned towards the table, their laughter cutting through the fragile harmony they had built. "Looks like a real mess," the girl scoffed, amusement dancing in her eyes. Jake felt a cold rush of anxiety rush through him. Would all they'd built come crashing down? He glanced at Lily and Emma, who stood resiliently beside him, confidence radiating from their small frames. He realized that setbacks were part of change, and it was in these moments that true strength was tested. Could they withstand this challenge? And within that moment of uncertainty, Jake felt a shift in his heart. What began as a flicker of fear morphed into resolve. What would happen next? Could they rally together even after a stumble like this? And would the power of their shared belief be enough to carry them through? Jake took a deep breath, feeling the heat of the stares from the crowd. The clatter of coins rolling across the ground echoed in his ears, puncturing the blissful atmosphere they had built. Emma and Lily stood firm beside him, their faces reflecting a mixture of determination and surprise. The skeptical girl, emboldened by her friends, took a step closer, eyes scanning the scattered coins with an amused smirk. "Do you really think anyone is going to help you now?" she called out, her tone dripping with disdain. But Jake could feel the spirit of the crowd shifting behind him. There was a rustle as people began to move. One by one, they bent down to gather the coins, laughing off the accident. A kid with a baseball cap began tossing the loose change into the air like a celebration. The sound of their laughter washed over Jake, making him believe that maybe this was a turning point after all. "Thank you," Lily shouted, her voice cutting through the noise. "It's not just about the money, it's about being together." That simple statement flickered in the air, igniting a warmth that surged through the gathering. People reminded each other of why they were there, recounting how small actions could add up, like these very coins. Emma joined in, telling a story of how just last week they had helped a friend move when no one else had time. A ripple of solidarity flowed through the group. Jake marveled at their ability to twist this moment into something powerful. A part of him felt a swell of pride for his daughters, who were holding the very fabric of their community together with words of kindness. Then, unexpectedly, Mr. Carson stepped forward. "You know, it's about the spirit in this community," he said, his voice rising above the chatter. "You girls sparked something in all of us, and I know it will carry beyond just today." His words roused a wave of encouragement, and people began to share their own moments of bravery. A mother spoke about how her daughter had found a stray kitten last week and rallied the neighborhood kids to care for it. A teenager stood up, saying he'd just started a volunteering group at school. As these stories flowed, Jake realized the accidental spill had become a catalyst for something so much greater. Laughter intertwined with heartfelt conversations, creating an atmosphere thick with connection. But amid this empowerment, he couldn't shake the feeling that the challenge was not yet over. The expression on the girl's face had shifted from smugness to something deeper. Was it confusion? Regret? She stood with her arms crossed, still watching the scene unfold, but with a lesser smirk. It was strange how the tides could shift so rapidly, and the surge of vulnerability could emerge even among those who appeared most dismissive. Jake felt a pull to reach out, to steer the moment toward inclusivity. "Hey, why don't we all work together to clean this up?" he called out, motioning toward the spilled coins. "Everyone can help, and by the end, we'll have a little more cash and a lot more community spirit. Let's make it a team effort." Lily and Emma nodded eagerly, their eyes shining with hope. The girl blinked, a flicker of surprise passing across her face. Was this backed by vulnerability as well as a desire for acceptance? Her friends glanced at her, whispering, clearly torn between retreating and joining in. Jake felt the tension of anticipation draw tight once more, as moments seemed to stretch out. Would this chance of synergies reshape their narrative? Would forgiveness find its place amid laughter, and even rivalry transform into something supportive? Before he could explore it any further, the young girl took a step forward, hesitating, her vulnerability surfacing. Would she join them? And in that moment, Jake's heart raced. All around him, the breaths felt collectively held. Every eye was fixated on that singular decision. It hung there like a fragile thread, filled with the potential for unity or division. What choice would she make? And could this be the moment everything changed? The girl shifted her weight from one foot to the other, her gaze bouncing between the coins and her friends. Jake could feel his heart pounding, each beat echoing the silent plea for connection. It was like watching a storm break, and the uncertainty that came with it. "Come on, Mia," one of her friends strongly whispered, nudging her arm. "We should help. It's just coins." Mia bit her lip, glancing back at the crowd. The warmth, the laughter, the sense of belonging. She seemed caught in a moment that could define her. Taking a deep breath, Jake leaned in, his eyes steady on her. "It's okay to join us. Everyone makes mistakes. This could be the start of something good." Finally, with a resolute nod, Mia stepped forward, breaking free from the tight grip of her friends. She knelt down, her hands reaching for the scattered coins, the newfound sincerity in her eyes reflecting back at Jake. Around him, whispers of encouragement flowed softly through the crowd, people joining in to gather the coins in a moment of solidarity. "See? It's not so bad," Emma said brightly, her enthusiasm contagious. Mia's shy smile faded momentarily, revealing a glimpse of her genuine self. As she stood, a few coins slipped through her fingers, clattering on the pavement. The surrounding laughter turned into a chuckle, light and teasing, but no longer cruel. Jake noticed her cheeks flush with embarrassment, but it began melting into something more, a shared sense of vulnerability. "What if we all share a story while we do this?" Lily suggested, her voice rising again. "Like a treasure hunt." Jake chuckled at the idea as Mia hesitated, glancing up. "A story?" she started, more to herself than anyone. "Well, last summer, my dog got stuck in a mud pit." She looked around, the crowd's attention shifting to her, hungry for connection. "My dad had to jump in after him. He was so mad at first, but it turned into this whole ordeal." She smiled now, buoyed by their encouragement. "I'll spare you the details, but it ended with a lot of mud, a wet dog, and my dad laughing so hard he nearly fell in too. Every time I think about it, it makes me laugh." Laughter erupted, and soon others chimed in with their own stories, each sharing pieces of their lives that resonated deeply. The crowd, now more than just an audience, felt like family, their laughter piling onto the coins being gathered. As Jake watched, he felt a lightness in his chest. It was as if walls were falling down, and everyone was revealing who they really were. Vulnerability was weaving through the folds of their lives like a common thread, pulling them closer together. But amidst all this connection, Jake noticed something flicker in Mia's eyes, a hint of uncertainty still lurking there. It intrigued him, that even in the warmth of acceptance, questions lingered. "What if I get lost again?" Mia asked softly, almost afraid to voice her thought. "Then you reach out," Jake replied, stepping closer. "We're here. You won't be alone." The atmosphere shifted slightly, an understanding passing through everyone, as his words echoed the sentiment that had blossomed in that moment. Would they truly carry this new connection beyond today? They went back to cleaning, sharing laughter with each piece collected. But Jake could feel the unasked question lingering in the air. Could this spark of unity truly ignite a lasting change? Just then, a sudden commotion on the edge of the gathering caught their attention. It was a small child running toward them, tears streaming down. "Mum! I lost my bunny!" The light felt electric. Would this moment pull everyone back together again, or would it challenge what they had just built? What would they choose to do this time? The moment hung in the air, as if the world around them held its breath. Jake could see Mia's eyes widen, drawn to the little girl's fragile state. The laughter and stories that had just united them seemed to fade, replaced by the urgent need to help. Mia didn't hesitate. She dropped the coins and rushed forward. "Where did you lose it?" she asked the girl, squatting down to meet her at eye level. There was a softness in her voice, a protective warmth wrapping around the little one despite the overwhelming chaos. "I was playing, and then it was gone." The girl hiccuped between sobs, her small hands gripping a stuffed animal that wasn't quite a bunny, but had become a symbol of her distress. Jake watched as Mia's focus shifted, the uncertainty in her eyes transformed into determination. The rest of the crowd felt the pull, drawn in by the little girl's tears. They began to fan out, asking each other questions, looking under benches, in bushes, beneath swings. It was a collective effort. The connection formed over coins morphed into a quest for lost comfort. Jake found himself beside Mia, their shoulders brushing as they searched. "Do you think we'll find it?" Mia asked, her brow furrowed with concern. "Of course we will," he replied. "We've got a whole team on this now." Striking a small smile, he hoped to quell the mounting worry in her eyes. That light flickering inside her was both beautiful and fragile. As time ticked on and the search widened, the crowd began to share their own stories of losing things that mattered. An old teddy, a favorite book, a cherished first bike. Suddenly, their bond, once founded on vulnerability, was strengthened by shared memories of loss. The girl's agony brought out pieces of humanity buried in all of them. Jake noticed the ice around Mia melting. Her laughter came more freely now as she recounted her own tale of losing a prized necklace, also a treasured memory. "And I retraced my steps all day, thinking I wouldn't find it, when finally I saw it glimmering under my bed, like it was just waiting for me." Her eyes sparkled with that glimmer, encouraging those around her. The little girl paused in her sobbing, her small hands wiping away tears as she listened. With hope igniting within her, she whispered, "Will I find my bunny too?" Jake felt his heart soften even more for her. "You will. We're not giving up." He looked around, gauging the moods of those gathered. Encouragement surged through them, creating an almost tangible hope. Just when spirits began to rise, a voice from the back called out, "Over here, I think I found something." It was a teenager, holding a small, dust-covered bunny that looked a little battered but seemed familiar. The little girl's head whipped around, eyes wide with disbelief. Her world shifted as she ran forward, lifting the bunny high in the air. "Daisy, I found you!" Warm hugs enveloped the plush creature, and cheers erupted from the crowd. In that fleeting moment, joy replaced sadness, laughter intertwined with relief. Mia beamed, her cheeks flushed with life as she shared a glance with Jake. They'd all reached a beautiful conclusion together, and for those brief instants, they were a family, bound by everything they had just experienced. But as the commotion died down and a sense of normalcy returned, Jake noticed a shadow cross Mia's face. "What if I can't keep this connection?" she whispered to him, so low he barely caught it. He tilted his head, letting the moment linger. "What if you're meant to hold on tighter?" As they stepped back toward the crowd, he felt the weight of her doubt. Could they really maintain what they had discovered in this chaotic scene? Would they embrace this newfound connection beyond today, or let it slip away like the whispers of the past? Jake caught a glimpse of the setting sun, its golden rays painting the sky. A warm blush ignited his spirit, fueling a feeling of anticipation. The journey was far from over. What would it take for them to truly step forward together? Jake felt a shift in the atmosphere as the last echoes of laughter faded. It was as if the energy that had bound the crowd together began to disperse. The little girl's triumphant cries faded, replaced by the mundane sounds of the park, children playing, parents chatting, and the distant hum of cars on the nearby street. He turned to Mia, searching for a sign, something to reassure him. She still carried a smile, but it was tinged with uncertainty. The warmth they had shared in that moment of connection felt fragile, ready to crack under the pressure of reality. "Maybe we should stick together?" Jake suggested, half hoping she would take the bait. Her gaze flitted toward the crowd, then back to him, her decision clear. "Yes, let's." As they walked side by side, Jake felt the closeness they had forged in that whirlwind of emotion. He'd never considered how much a simple act of kindness could spark something deeper. "Have you ever felt like this before? Like everything just clicked?" he asked, trying to push the talk beyond mere pleasantries. Mia nodded, her eyes reflecting the sunset's hues. "I think so, but it always felt temporary, like a spark that flickered out." Jake's heart sank at her words. He understood the pain of brief connections, the way they sometimes slipped away just when they should have grown stronger. "What if we make a pact?" he proposed, feeling bolder. "A promise to keep this going, to check in on each other." Her lips curled upwards at the corners. "I like that idea. We can start with the family picnic next weekend. I'd love for you and the girls to come." At the mention of his daughters, Jake felt a swell of pride mixed with anxiety. "They might take some warming up to," he admitted. "They're a bit shy, especially around new people." Mia laughed softly. "That just means they're smarter than the rest of us." They shared another smile, a moment of resounding understanding as they stepped into the fading sunlight. It was amidst the laughter and camaraderie they had witnessed earlier that realization struck Jake. This friendship could grow, perhaps beyond the confines of a park and brief encounters, perhaps into something more. "Can I tell you something?" Mia said suddenly, stopping in her tracks, causing Jake to turn and look at her. "Of course," he replied, eyebrows raised, intrigued. "I was a little scared coming to the park today. I thought I might not fit in. I mean, you're a single dad and I'm just me." The honesty of her admission struck a chord. "Hey, let's not make it a thing," he said gently. "We're all just doing our best, right?" Mia took a breath as if she was wading into deeper waters. "What's your story, Jake? How did you end up being a single dad?" The question hung between them, dense and complicated, like the gathering clouds overhead. He knew he'd have to answer. He wanted to, in fact. The truth was a heavy burden, but it was one he hadn't shared with many. Yet, would he be brave enough to let her in? As the shadows lengthened behind them, Jake felt time slipping away. They stood at a precipice. Would they take the leap to explore the depths of each other's lives, or allow the moment to fade into insignificance? He could feel his heart racing, heroes and fears battling within. Would this be the moment he chose to break down the walls he'd built up? "Maybe I should start from the beginning," Jake said slowly, preparing to unveil the fractured pieces of his past, hoping that in doing so he wouldn't lose what they had built together. Would sharing his story strengthen their bond or drive them apart? As Jake took a deep breath, he felt the weight of the moment pressing down on him. The sun dipped lower, casting an amber glow around them, and he couldn't help but notice how beautiful Mia looked, her features illuminated in the warm light. The thought of revealing his truest self sent a tremor through him, but he committed to taking that leap. "When I was married, things were different," he began, his voice barely above a whisper. Mia leaned in, her gaze intent, and it felt as if the world around them faded away. "Different how?" she pressed gently, encouraging him to continue. "I thought we were a regular family," he said, keeping his eyes on the ground to avoid the weight of her stare. "We had everything figured out, but sometimes things aren't as perfect as they seem on the surface." He paused, gathering his thoughts. Each word felt like unveiling a part of his heart, one he had not shared often. "What changed?" she asked, her voice soothing, drawing him to look at her. Jake's heart ached, memories flooding in. "My daughters," he admitted, his voice cracking slightly. "They were my light. But after the divorce, I realized how hard it would be to shield them from pain. They missed their mom and He hesitated. "I felt like I failed them." Mia's expression softened, which soothed the storm inside him. "That doesn't mean you failed," she replied, empathy radiating from her. "You did your best." "Maybe," he said, still unconvinced. "But when I saw the girls struggle, it hit me hard. I focused only on their happiness without realizing I had to rebuild myself too." He could feel tears prickling in his eyes. Being a single dad isn't just about providing. It's taking care of their hearts. And mine. Mia nodded, her silence encouraging him to keep speaking. "Some days I look in the mirror and wonder if I've lost myself along the way," he confessed. "It's a battle every day, trying to balance everything and simply be someone they can rely on." "I can't imagine how challenging that must be," she said softly, her hand instinctively moving towards his arm, giving it a squeeze. The touch ignited warmth beneath his skin, adding a flicker of hope where shadows lingered. He could feel his walls creaking, inviting the chance of something real between them. "Don't you ever worry about opening up?" he asked, testing the waters, still aware of their budding connection. "What if I can't give my girls the life they deserve?" Mia looked at him with unwavering sincerity. "Connecting with someone is scary. It means risking getting hurt or facing rejection. But what's the alternative? To live in solitude?" The truth in her words hit him like a wave. Living in the shadows hadn't shielded him from pain, but merely delayed it. This potential friendship was the first glimpse of light he'd had in ages. "Maybe we're both a little broken," Jake admitted, a soft chuckle escaping him in the heaviness of the moment. "But we can't stay that way forever." She offered a bright smile, lighting up the dimming park. "Exactly. Healing can be a journey taken together," she replied, her voice filling with promise. Just then, a loud shout echoed through the park. Jake turned to find his daughters in a playful tug-of-war with a cluster of other kids, their laughter bubbling over the chatter that surrounded them. It struck him how precious every moment was, how children held on to joy effortlessly. Mia's eyes sparkled as she watched them, surrounded by innocence and laughter. "They're adorable," she remarked, already aligning with their spirit. "Thanks," Jake said, his heart swelling again. But as they held each other's gazes, the weight of past burdens began to lift. "Maybe we could venture into that chaos together," Mia suggested, her smile widening. Jake couldn't suppress his excitement. "I'd like that," he said, his heartbeat quickening at the prospect of true connection. Could the future hold more for them? As they approached the giggling crowd, Jake felt a rush of something new intertwining with certainty and anticipation. Surely this wasn't just about his past anymore. "Do you think they would mind another duo?" she joked lightly, but her subtle ask tugged at something deeper. "Only if you're ready to jump into their world," he teased back, and a spark of excitement flickered through him. But there was still so much to uncover. As they moved closer to the girls, Jake wondered, had they crossed the point of no return? What awaited in those shared smiles and laughter? What happened next would either sew their lives closer together or challenge everything they'd started to build. As they stepped into the laughter-filled chaos, Jake couldn't help but feel exhilarated. Mia walked beside him, her presence grounding yet buoyant, as if she were a lifeline in an unpredictable sea. His daughters played with abandon, their laughter like music, drawing him in despite the worry gnawing at the edges of his happiness. "Look, there they go," Mia pointed excitedly, and Jake turned to see Lily and Emma, their hair whipping around like golden streams in the wind as they sprinted towards a playground set up in the corner of the park. "They've made new friends!" Jake exclaimed, emotions swelling within him, pride battling vulnerability. The sight of his girls laughing, free from the burdens he'd placed on them, was intoxicating, yet bittersweet. "You can see how much they love it here," Mia said softly. Her gaze was steady, full of warmth as she observed the girls. That simple affirmation made a rush of affection for her bubble in his chest. "Yeah, But it's hard not to worry, he admitted, unable to shake the weight of past disappointments. I just hope they don't remember the bad times. They'll be kids as long as you let them be, she assured me, her voice like a soothing balm to his insecurities. You're doing well, Jake. Just look at their joy. Jake nodded, mesmerized. Seeing their radiant smiles allowed a flicker of hope to kindle in his heart. Perhaps, just perhaps, they were stepping into a new chapter. What if we join them? Mia suggested, her eyes shining with mischievous delight. No more standing on the sidelines. Are you sure? He said, a grin creeping onto his face. I can't promise I can keep up. With a playful nudge, Mia darted toward the playground, and Jake felt laughter bubbling up, pushing him to follow. The moment he joined her, something shifted. The playground emerged as a stage, bright and alive, and it felt like the weight of his past hung less heavily upon him. Okay, girls, who's going to beat me at this race? Mia called out, her competitive spirit igniting. Me, I will, Lily shouted. Determination etched on her young face while Emma clung onto her sister's side, willing to take the challenge. Jake chuckled at the sight, the infectious energy surrounding them. As the race began, blurred colors and laughter overlapped until he stepped back, watching in awe as they all launched themselves forward. Mia, radiant and carefree, proved to be a surprisingly capable runner. In that enchanted moment, watching laughter ripple through the air, Jake realized how alive he felt for the first time in years. The connections he feared losing were being rekindled right before his eyes. Unbeknownst to him, he was forging bonds far deeper than he anticipated. But as the race wound down, and the kids sprawled on the grass, breathless and giggling, Jake felt a knot of trepidation twist in his stomach. What if this was just a precious breath of fresh air before everything returned to normal? The shadows of his worries crept in, threatening to dampen the light he'd found. Mia plopped down beside him, radiant with excitement and flushed with joy. That was so much fun, she exclaimed, and her laughter sent a ripple of warmth through him. Yeah, it really was, Jake replied, unable to hide his smile. But beneath the current of happiness lurked the uncertainty that he had not yet fully faced. With his daughters engaged in a game of charades, Mia leaned in closer, her voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. Jake, can I ask you something? Of course, he replied, his heart racing at the depth of her gaze. Where do you see yourself in a year? Like, really think about it. The question settled, heavy and profound. He opened his mouth to speak but found himself completely stumped. The future felt like a tangled web still waiting to be unraveled. Could he imagine embracing the unknown, allowing Mia into the core of his world, his daughters' lives? Right when clarity seemed within reach, doubt surged forward. Sometimes, he started, hesitating, feeling exposed. Sometimes it's hard to think too far ahead. Mia's brow furrowed slightly, sensing the shift in his mood. I understand that, but what if I told you that step into the unknown could lead to something beautiful? As her words hung in the air, Jake felt an ache grow stronger within. What might their future hold if he dared to step into it? What if he sought not only to heal but to embrace the joy of living again? And in that moment, amidst the laughter and happiness that filled the park, Jake realized that taking a risk of love meant confronting the darkness first. As the sun dipped lower, casting long shadows, the questions lingered between them. Would he have the courage to unveil his heart? Would Mia be there when it happened? Let's not rush it, he finally said, almost to himself. But deep inside, he knew the real question was whether he could truly let her in. Unbeknownst to him, that moment was only the beginning, a flicker of what could ignite into something truly transformative. Perhaps this was the push he needed. The heart holds its secrets tightly, but could it also learn to trust again? Days turned into weeks as Jake, Mia, Lily, and Emma forged an unexpected bond that illuminated their lives. Each laughter-filled picnic, every shared ice cream cone, became a stepping stone toward something deeper. As Jake watched Mia weave her way into his daughters' hearts, a newfound light started growing within him. They spent afternoons at the park, their lives intertwined like the branches of the trees towering above, each date transforming their connection. Mia brought color to their world, a vibrant energy that inspired Jake to explore his own heart. One evening, as golden sunlight bathed the park in warmth, Jake found himself sitting on the porch, a familiar anxiety tugging at his chest. He watched Lily and Emma chase fireflies, their giggles ringing like music. Mia sat next to him, her presence radiating comfort. "Beautiful night, isn't it?" she said softly, her gaze fixed on the dancing lights. "It is, and there's something about it that makes me think about the future." Jake took a deep breath. "Today I finally asked myself what I truly want, and it scares me." Mia turned toward him, her expression open and encouraging. "What do you want?" He hesitated, heart racing. "I want to build something meaningful, more than just surviving day to day. I want my girls to feel secure, to dream big, and to know that love can heal, but I worry about the risks involved in opening up." Mia's eyes glimmered as she reached for his hand, her touch igniting a warmth he hadn't felt in a long time. Relationships are powerful. They're transformative, especially when you invite someone into your life who understands your fears. His heart swelled at her words, echoing like a gentle promise. "I want to let you in, Mia, but I can't pretend it's easy." "Nothing worthwhile ever is," she replied, squeezing his hand tightly. "But picture your girls, bright, fearless, and filled with joy. They need you to embrace that potential." The sound of laughter pulled his attention back to the girls, who were now trying to catch the elusive fireflies with outstretched hands. Watching their genuine delight, Jake realized this love they had created in their little world was the essence of what he yearned for. The security and belonging that he craved, all set against a backdrop built of acceptance. Taking a deep breath, Jake looked at Mia. "Can we face this journey together? Can we build something strong, not just for us, but also for my girls?" Her smile was radiant as she nodded. "Absolutely. I want to be part of this journey with you." Jake felt a storm of emotions lift from him, the weight of his guarded past slowly fading as the light of possibility enveloped him. The fear of losing the connection they had created felt lighter, more manageable. He could envision a life where laughter echoed louder than sorrow, where the future was a tapestry of love, woven from trust and hope. As darkness began to settle, the distant sound of conversation from their nearby neighbors filled the night air, reminders of community and connection. "Let's show them who we are and what we stand for," he said, excitement ricocheting through each word. "Next week, let's host a block party, invite everyone over and really share what we've built." Mia's expression lit up. "Yes, a chance to celebrate our connection with the whole community. That's brilliant." Jake felt the energy of their plan course through him. They would take solid steps forward, enveloping all of their fellow neighbors in joy, unity, and the promise of brighter tomorrows. The girls cheered at the prospect of the party, their spirits bursting with excitement. In that moment, Jake felt the world around them pulse with possibility. He could see a future rising ahead, built not only for himself, but also for his daughters and Mia, a celebration of togetherness that would reverberate through their lives and beyond. As the glow of streetlights flickered on, Jake grasped onto his realization. Love had a way of weaving through heartache to create new beginnings. Together, they would face whatever came next, hand in hand, with hope lighting their path. This newfound resolve felt exhilarating, because they knew they were ready for whatever came next. They were a family in the making, strengthened by love, community, and unwavering courage. Now is your time. Subscribe immediately to the channel so you don't miss our next exclusive stories. Don't leave us hanging. Hit that like button now to boost our algorithm. Your thoughts matter. Comment below with how you felt about this transformation and what your dreams for the future are. And remember, share this video instantly with at least 5 friends who need to see this inspiring journey. You need to show your support and let's spread the love. Don't wait, not even one more second to share.